The Couch is proudly supported by Palace Cinemas, Elite Audiovisual Productions, Crown and Andrews Board Games, fun for the whole family, and Scoot Airlines. Escape the ordinary, fly Scoot.
Hello Australia, time for The Couch all around Australia on Foxtel. Thanks for your company. Episode 657, 27th of October, Sunday. Thank you for your company. Let me tell you who's on the show today. We've got the Bitchin' team coming in today. Peter Newman is filling in for Ted Bull. We've got Jen Merrigan and also Chris Ilsley. We're also talking to Darren Rowe and Paul Pantalo. Now, they have a fantastic pie for us. They won the award for the best pie in Australia, Pinjarra Bakery. They'll be in later on to give me some pies. Can't wait. Daniel Barini is one of the lead actors in a brand new movie that stars Tina Arena. It's called Promised. We're going to talk to him exclusively as well. And we're giving away another bear that Heather's holding for us, thanks to Cooper Bears. How beautiful and cute is that bear? Do you like it?
It's gorgeous.
It's nice, isn't it?
Very.
And talking about nice, Millennium Kids are coming in today. We've got Elwyn on the right of me, and of course Heather on the left. Heather, what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to talk about Elwyn's project with Millennium Kids to create more green space in Victoria Park.
You can never have enough green space.
That's right.
Stay tuned. It's a big couch, fun couch. Starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred and the best in town. You can see it from your house. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch. Oh, oh, oh.
Welcome to the couch. I'm a fast person. See how quickly I move from over there? Live television. And those extra exercises I do every day makes me fast. We have got a big show today. Let me get straight into it. Millennium Kids are here today, and we've got Heather and Elwyn. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Nice to have you both here. Now, Elwyn, I'm going to talk to you first because you're the project leader here. Your mum is the mentor. And I just wanted to ask you, now, have you been with Millennium Kids for a long time?
Yeah. How long has it been, Mum?
About 2 years.
Yeah, about 2 years.
2 years? Now, the project that you're running, run us through it. How's it work?
It's basically to create more green space in Victoria Park and
Why do we need green space?
to help reduce carbon emissions.
Now, we're talking about things like trees and plants and environment. Has it all gone? Is that what's happened?
Yeah, most of it has gone, and it's really sad.
It is sad because as a young person, you're wanting the future of our world to succeed and be incredibly beautiful. How are you doing it? Because are they listening to you there at Vic Park?
Sometimes, but not usually. Mostly it's just the adults, and kids don't exactly get to have a say in anything.
When you see the rallies that went on in the city to do with climate change, etc., did you take part in all of that?
I really wanted to,
Mum
but
didn't let you?
I had to work that day, so
Yeah.
I couldn't go.
So, Heather, as the mum, and also you're part of Millennium Kids, how do you feel when you see the kids out there to protect the world, the environment? Are you proud of them?
Yeah, I'm really proud. I think, it's part of having a robust democracy. You're allowed to take part in all sorts of, democratic processes, whether that's protesting or voting or whatever.
I'm so amazed that you've got kids these days putting their hand up saying we need to look after the environment. And it's important to everybody. And you're trying to tell the adults how we're going to do it. Now, this project, what are you specifically doing? Is it just for the city of Victoria Park? Is that how it's working?
Yeah, so there's lots of drainage basins all over
So
Victoria
I've
Park.
got a map. If I hold it right, tell me if I'm holding it the wrong way up.
Yep, that's
I'll
correct.
hold it up to camera. Now, the orange area, which is around there, that's the area that you guys are working with? Is that right?
Yeah.
And what are we doing in that area? That's Victoria Park, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
So how did you pick that area?
So do you want to talk?
Originally we were going to do one on the corner of my house, but the Water Corp said they couldn't do it because it was still needed for drainage. So we got moved up to that one, and it's much, much better than the one.
So what are you doing? Tell me physically, what are you doing? How are you helping this environment in that area?
We're going to try plant lots of trees, and my mum really, really wants a wildflower meadow.
So you've picked some sort of plants that you're going to put in and trees, etc. Heather, what sort of other plants are you putting in then? How are you doing it? Because obviously you can't just go and plant things on public land.
No, exactly. So at the moment we've been doing lots of community consultations, so asking kids, and Elwyn's run a couple of workshops.
Now, I've got a photo here of Elwyn with the city of some of the people, Water Corp, and also some of the city of Vic Park.
Yeah, that's right. So
What was this all about?
So Elwyn went to the site and had a chat to people from the town and people from the Water Corporation, and just talked about different ways that the site can be utilised and their constraints.
Do you go along as well when these meetings are held?
Yeah.
And how do you find that people like the Victoria Park Council and the Water Corp, do they sort of look at you and they say, okay, they take you serious, or they're not interested?
They do take me somewhat seriously, because when I met them I was actually 11 and
And how old are you now?
12.
Wow, you're a lot older now. I've been listening to a 12-year-old. How come, what makes you really tough? Tell me what makes you tough that they have to listen to you.
Probably my fencing, because if you just gave me a foil and put them in a fencing suit, I'd easily beat them in a bout.
Really? So you're willing to fight for your environment?
Yeah.
So have you had a win? Have you had good news on this project itself?
It's been very slow going because of the behemoth that is bureaucracy. But
And they've just had council elections
exactly.
as well.
So, but the town's endorsed an urban forest strategy, which is all about planting more trees. So we're hoping that with that endorsed, then these sorts of projects will become more attractive.
And how many people are working on this project with Elwyn?
How many people? It's probably just you and me, and then some people around the area.
How fantastic. So
we're-
you've got some public support, because you're going to be
Yeah,
planting
yeah.
trees, etc. You're going to need more than just you and your mum, I'm supposing.
Yeah.
So
And
are
they're
you
about
calling
fit.
for helpers as well? Are you calling for the public to get involved?
Not just at the moment. We've been working with Millennium Kids, and then we've spoken to some locals.
Okay.
But until we get some written permissions to
So I guess
gain
it's a
access to
project
this.
in works, and we need to wait. And people out there watching this are saying, what a great idea. A young 12-year-old, which is really tough, and she's good at fencing, so be careful. She's going to be pushing the point with the council and other government bureaucracy. And hopefully you're going to rally people up to come and help you plant the trees. Do we think it's going to happen? They're going to allow permission to go and plant the trees, etc.?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's all going to happen. So do you find people are very proactive when it comes to the environment? Have you had any obstacles?
Quite a lot, because we recently got, well, not recently, but we got our funding taken away a while ago.
That's not a good
Which
one.
was-
So we need the funding to come back, and more funding. We need to put more money back into the environment.
Yeah.
So, and that funding helps you guys, Millennium Kids, do some of the amazing projects. Last time on the show, we had a guy two guys that invented eatable spoons.
Yeah,
and
they're
I thought they were
fantastic.
amazing. What a great idea. This project is wonderful too, creating greener spaces around Western Australia, starting with Vic Park. Is there anyone else that you need to thank, or anything else you wanted to promote today, just before we go?
Oh, everyone at Millennium Kids has
Yeah.
been really amazing.
Do you enjoy your work at Millennium Kids?
Yeah,
What's
I
the best
really-
thing about it for a 12-year-old? 'Cause you're
Eating
pretty old now.
chocolate.
I read that. You guys get chocolate, but is it all healthy chocolate, environmentally safe, or is it
fair
Cadbury?
trade.
Yeah, fair trade, and sometimes it's vegan, which
Oh.
is really good.
Is it? You need to bring some in next time.
Yeah, it's very
I eat
delicious.
any chocolate. But well done. And do you urge a lot of kids to get involved with Millennium Kids?
Yeah, I've been trying to get people at my school to be involved. Right now, there's only 5 people, including myself, but it's going to work very soon.
Oh, look, it's a fantastic organisation. You've got your mum supporting you, and lots of mums are involved. But well done. Good luck with the project. Let us know how you go down the track. And if people want more information about Millennium Kids, Heather or Elwyn, do you know the website? There it is on screen. We'll put it up and I'll tell it to you. Look, millenniumkids.com.au. You can't forget that one.
No,
millenniumkids.com.au. Please follow them and follow their success with this project, creating greener spaces. Hopefully from Vic Park, they'll go all around Western Australia. Thank you, Heather. And thank you to Elwyn. Are you still nervous?
Yes.
Oh, that's all right. You'll get over it. It's all right. You're 12 now. Thank you very much. You're doing great jobs in the community with the environment. Now, somebody else that's doing great things too is our bear. It has got so many people interested in winning the bears. I'm going to tell you who our winner is today. The winner of the last week's bear, which was a beautiful bear, is Christine Keane, and she's from Coomera. I think it's Coomera in Queensland, or Coomera in Queensland. Coomera, thank you very much. Coomera in Queensland. Congratulations, Christine. You're going to have this beautiful, not this one, but the other bear from last week. You're going to get that in the mail, delivered by Australia Post. But this week, we've got another cute bear, sort of Christmas bear, I reckon we could sort of call it. Really cute. There he is there. It comes with a little baby bear, and he's also got a little one of those things you hang on the Christmas tree, which is all Christmassy. The bear's worth over $100. It's handmade. It's fantastic. It comes from our own place here in Kelmscott. It's called Cooper Bears. If you would like to win this bear, very simple. Put the code word, which is Cooper, COOPER, with your name and address on an SMS. Send it to 0439 929 929. Anywhere in Australia, you can enter this competition thanks to Kay Cooper from Cooper Bears, cooperbears.com.au. That's their website. And they also provide a bear hospital, which you can take your bears in if they're damaged, and they'll fix it for you. Thank you very much. We're going to take a break. Be back with more of The Couch. Bitchin' is coming up next. Stay tuned. You're on Aurora Foxtel. See you soon. Welcome back to The Couch. It's time for Bitchin'. They're back. They already started bitching in the break. Let me welcome our bitches for today. Of course, we've got Chris Ilsley from 882 6PR Perth tonight.
Good evening, Fred. Can I make a point here? I don't bitch.
No, I know.
I robustly complain about issues of great concern. How
That's
about
his
that?
3 minutes. Thank you very much. And that's 6pr.com.au if you want to listen to him live every night. And Jen Merrigan, haveagonews.com.au.
That's right.
When's the new release coming out?
Next one will be out on the 8th of November. And we're pretty proud this month. We've hit 65,000 hard copies.
Fantastic. Congratulations as well.
Thank you.
Well done.
Wonderful. Another local friend of ours. It's good to be local. Talking about local, this man is a legendary broadcaster, 6PR, ABC, Curtin Radio, and anywhere else he
6KY,
likes.
6
Now,
PM,
you're
6AM.
temporarily retired at the moment of your own
not
doing.
Not by my own volition.
But are you looking at going back into radio if something good comes up?
One of the difficulties I have is I have an allergy to stupidity.
Oh, well, you'll never go back to radio.
That's strange, my friend.
So you want to do breakfast, do you?
No, the stupidity. There's a famous broadcaster called Robert W. Morgan, Boss Radio, and he's got a Hollywood Hall of Fame.
Yes.
The pavement slab, and there's a go online and look at his commentary on station managers
And I'll get it.
program directors.
you
Robert
go.
W. Morgan. See
Time
what he
to
says.
open his own radio station, I reckon.
What was it the late Lionel Lewis used to refer to 6KY in Perth management as? Stumble bums and helmet heads.
Thank God 6KY is no longer there.
Well, it is actually. It's
Mixed
Mixed 94.5. Luckily, none of us want to work there, so we're pretty well set up for that one. Chris, your story is an interesting one with all the scams that are going on.
Yes, I can't even believe that they have to announce this. It's a crackdown on telcos who expose mobile phone owners to porting scams. Porting's where you decide that you want to hop
I wanna
phone
move to
companies but keep
Telstra
your
or
same
whatever.
phone number. You obviously have to authorise your new intended phone company to port your number. Moving your number is called porting from the old phone company. Well, what happens is these scammers are doing this, and I take Fred's phone number.
Yep.
And they haven't been making sure that it was actually Fred who said, look, I'm terribly sorry, I want to move to this other phone company.
So as
Please
long
let
as you
my
give them
number
the
go."
correct details, they'll just port your number.
Yeah,
out.
and how easy is it to get the correct details?
They
we
can't
are
even
going
get it
to be
right.
doing something really soon. And obviously we're going to do this in liaison with law enforcement because we're going to have to.
Yes.
Where I'm going to take somebody I know and I'm just going to stalk them and get all their information. We're going to work out how long it takes me to gather their information online to the extent that I could then jump online and apply for a credit card in their
Will
name.
this person know?
What's that?
Will this person know?
Yes,
what you do?
they will know.
So,
Yeah, of course,
you know,
they have to by law.
what's going on in this world? I mean, only just this morning I received an SMS from Australia Post telling me I had to pay $1 if I wanted an item delivered.
Scam.
It's a scam.
Scam,
Basically, if you click on the link, it takes you to a page where you've got to put in all your details
Yeah.
and your credit card.
And
They
why
won't
would
take
you do that for
out.
$1?
They wouldn't take out $1. They'll take out more and you'll never get it back because you gave them the details.
I've got a recording which occasionally I play where I phoned this scammer. It was one of those.
I've seen,
Oh,
I've
I've heard that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, but there was another one where there was this silly bloke who said that we'd got $80 million to help him. And he said that he needed all this money because he had to gather, I think he said $150,000. And I phoned him up and I said, this is on air, I said, we here in Australia have got a simple way of doing this. If I owe you 150 large and you're sending me 80 million, just take the 150 out of there. I said, mate, you can have 200.
200.
No,
What do you
that's
think?
not how it works.
What do you think of these modern scams? I'll go to Jen first, then Peter.
I had, about 4 years ago, my credit card statement stolen from my letterbox, and someone went and took out a loan in my name with my details.
Amazing.
Just from a credit card statement.
Do you know what, Peter, as well here? Do you remember when Telstra was the only telephone company? We never used to get midnight calls. We never used to get 7 o'clock calls. We never used to get scams.
Exactly.
Isn't it funny? As soon as we privatised everything, it opened the doors for scammers.
Well, it's a bit different too. Remember, the scammers can work because of the technology.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, you can spoof numbers, you can VoIP them from overseas. When we were boys, if you tried to run an overseas call scam, you go broke with the international call.
That's
Peter, what do you
interesting,
think?
Chris, because my older son works, he's a business analyst with a background in IT, and he says nothing you put there is private.
Exactly.
And that worries me about young people with their Facebook and
But
Twitter
they put
accounts.
everything there.
Yeah, they put everything on.
Yeah.
And he says nothing is, you can't,
Nothing's sacred.
Nothing-
Nothing's
nothing's
private.
private.
Facebook owns all that.
Correct. And if you
Yes.
put it up, be prepared that
there.
everyone's
You
going
know
to see
what my
it.
philosophy is, especially when you're applying for information? Lie.
Yeah. Look, I just think people are
Cemetery
too easy.
records are full of names that you can use, and the people whose names you're using don't care
Not so
anymore.
much the older, over 30, over 40. A lot of the young people, they walk into a restaurant before they even eat their food, they have to take a photograph. Then they have to tell people where they are. I think you've got to be careful I do it hours after, or even if I go on holidays now, I don't post till
The
later.
on holidays is really interesting. There was a case of a lady who took a picture of her airline ticket and said, I'm going on holidays, suckers. I'm going away for 6 weeks and you have to stay home and work. Suckers! She came home, house had been cleaned out, and the insurance company said no. She said, but hang on, I've been paying my premiums.
Jen?
And they said, madam, you
Yes.
posted online for everyone to see
Yep.
that you were going to be out of the country for 6 weeks.
Scammers, it's a no from all of us.
Yes.
No good. Jen, next one.
Talking about going on holidays, this young lady was
This
going to
one's
get
interesting.
was
love
going to
this
get
story.
an excess luggage charge, and so what she decided to do to beat the charge is she put all her clothes on and walked onto the plane with all her. With
They
all
think
her
I'm already wearing all my clothes.
I think this is hilarious because I've actually done this coming back from Europe, and so is my daughter.
I've got one simple question here. How can you put excessive layers of clothes on if they're the same size?
Because
But
if
it
you've got like
stretches.
if you've been in Europe and it's cold, so
Layers.
wear your snow boots and then layer, and then take them all off when you get on
but
the
you couldn't be a
plane.
Maggie T person.
No, you
No,
definitely.
what
you'd
if
have to
you
be
were what if you were
5'2"
my
and
size?
40,
Blimey. And you want to
43
put extra
kilos,
clothes
yes.
on.
I tell you what, I already get searched thinking I wear all my clothes at the same time. Could you imagine if this catches on? I mean, really, it's because they
But you got
charge
away
too
with it.
much. They charge too much for excess luggage. I mean, I'm going to Vietnam and it's going to cost me $75 just to go up by 5 kilos. It's a rip-off. So these people are being a little bit clever and they're wearing all their clothes because whatever you wear, they can't charge you.
What about the safety factor? The weight?
You can't breathe.
No, the extra weight. Isn't that the reason why they measure?
No,
they
They just
weigh
wanna
your
make money,
baggage.
Peter.
No,
It's all about money.
I've been on loads of airlines where they don't worry about and
Did
taken
you say you've
15
been on loads of airlines?
Yeah, and taken
An unconscious
15,
pun.
15 kilos of hand luggage.
Yeah. And there's people, if you watch border security, lots of people don't wear clothes anymore. They just bring food back into the country.
You know what I'd suggest? I'd say to them and say, listen, in the old days you used to have 4 engines on every aircraft. I've noticed now we only have 2. Don't blame your cutbacks on me. I'm
I
taking my
agree.
luggage.
I remember the days we used to fly 15, 20 years ago. We didn't even care about what your weight of the luggage was.
no,
You could bring 15 bags. They never said anything.
Yeah, just
Exactly.
open the throttles a bit wider if
Yeah.
it feels a bit heavy
And
on
technology's
takeoff.
got better, so
Exactly.
it's nothing to do
So
with...
take the tip from Jen.
Yep.
Wear all your clothes all the time. You'll be fine. As long as you're not sharing a luggage with your husband. And you
What do? You try to save excess luggage? No.
Peter
No,
Newman.
I just don't like the price
What's
of
your
suitcases.
Well, it's a story not from a. Well, it has been published many times, but it's. I'm recounting something that's happened to me personally,
Yeah.
more correctly to my wife. We're in the business, holiday accommodation business in Fremantle,
Yep.
and my wife wants to retire. She's become envious of my lack of activity, and we've got all our businesses and properties on the market. And in dealing with one of the major 4 banks, I discovered, this is amazing, Fred, that they have outsourced to Bangalore in India, part of their mortgage settlement and loan
Jeez.
approval things. But the point is, the people that my wife has been talking to cannot speak English.
Could you imagine, Peter, what would happen? You have $1 million house, say.
Yes,
all right?
yes.
And you're dealing with these people. You're thinking, oh my God, my house. I need to make sure it goes through properly.
So
Well,
you
the other point, now,
hang
Chris
on a
has
second,
made-
You said in Bangalore.
Bangalore.
But that's India. That's one of the countries that, firstly, is rife with corruption, and
Yes.
secondly, is a hotbed of scammers. And what we are doing is taking very, very legal documents,
And
taking
giving
them outside of Australian
So,
jurisdiction,
what's your
and then
experience
saying,
been? What's
you've
your
got access to
experience
them.
been?
I can just see some scammer there
hasn't
with
been
his phone.
resolved.
So what do you feel like you can do?
Well, no, I
Is
did,
there
I
an
did.
alternative?
Yeah, well, no. Well,
This is the ANZ, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was one of the big 4.
No, it's the ANZ, that's who you're
yes,
talking about.
Yes, it is. You're correct.
But
there.
you know what? They're all
but-
going to go that way.
They are. But in frustration, I rang up Ben, the member of
Bankwest?
Tagny. Ben Morton,
Oh,
thank you,
that's
Ben
right.
Morton, of course.
Politician, yep.
And he's been very helpful, and I don't know why more people don't do this. They seem reluctant to engage their parliamentarian, state or federal.
So, some are good, some are bad.
Yeah, but
Peter.
I found Ben to be excellent. That's why he's probably the Minister assisting the Prime Minister.
I would say
And
so.
we got a contact through his office
Yes.
of a senior ANZ
Management.
person who deals with government and ANZ, and she's on to it.
Look,
but to find
We
that
are
name, you can't
Australians.
get.
Look, I'm sorry. It's not a racial thing, so people get over it.
Yes.
The case is, if someone can do a job, I have no problem with
Yes.
it. But I am sick and tired of dealing with people for phone systems, for bills, for banks. You're dealing with people that, one, have no understanding of our culture.
I wonder if Extinction
Or
Rebellion
language.
are going to mount a protest
I
over
know.
these
But
workers
this is-
being
but I thought
exploited in
this-
these
know-
but I
developing
thought this
countries.
experience would resonate with a lot of.
I think it would.
With a lot of people viewing.
Especially if
in
you've
our
got no
business,
choice.
We have a lot of people who out their payments come from companies in Malaysia and India.
So
it's very
but
true.
here's
What you're
another-
saying is
here's another
beware.
one. Can I
And what
go under another
recourse-
tangent?
What recourse do you have?
We've got a couple
You
of
don't
minutes.
have
Later
any.
find out
Yeah.
that your documentation has been
Got-
compromised
well,
by
yes.
somebody sitting there
You
with their
probably
phone
have
on.
none.
selling
That
it to
shouldn't be the
others.
case.
Yep.
But my daughter she's a very successful beauty therapist, her own business.
Yes, I go
to well, you can, but
I
your
need to
skin,
go to
your
her.
skin is more your skin is
Luscious.
beautiful. Men should get facials. Anyway, NBN, it was between
I do,
Telstra,
but not on my
IINet and NBN. She lost her business phone number for 6 weeks.
Really?
And no contact, and they can't reinstate her old phone
Correct,
number.
once it's
So she's
closed.
on to the telecommunications ombudsman, but that's taking forever to reach some sort of settlement. But we don't seem to have recourse anywhere.
Don't go to void.
Do you know,
But-
I have to tell you, I'm a big supporter of Telstra. I know they've got their faults. They still make mistakes. They're human. But I tell you what, I still think when Telstra was government-owned, we had less of these occurrences where things were sold off, things were privatised. How often did you used to get these foreign people ring you at 7
You said
o'clock
that
at
already.
night?
I mean, and the phone. But what happens,
Telstra.
Chris? You're into technology.
Yep.
The phone rings at all hours and then stops.
Yep.
Yes.
Now what's happening? What's going on
Oh,
there?
I can tell you what it is, because this has just been as part of I think it was either yours or somebody else's. There's a scam going on at the moment. They ring you from overseas.
Yes.
And they ring you in odd hours because it's odd hours where they're ringing from. So I get them from Tunisia, Macedonia.
Tunisia.
Correct. And what it is, they don't want you to answer, because if you answer the phone, folks, they lose money because it's costing them to call you. So what they want you to do is go, oh, I wonder who rang me. So you go to your phone and you're very tired and you say, oh, it must be something important. So you press dial the number. When you dial them, they don't speak English and they keep you on the phone for 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Every second is $2.19.
I was going to say, it's a premium call number
Yes.
that they get you to call
And
back
that's, it's
by
a, it's a
So how
scam
do they
and
make
money
the money?
maker.
How do-
Because they are paid to get you to ring them back.
Because you go, oh, who was that? And,
So
then-
it's
call
like,
back.
like
So then
a.
who-
Well, the lady I spoke to was from Macedonia, and I actually went off at her and I said, "You are a scammer." And she's like, "Oh, what? Sorry, no speak." And I thought, "You rang me." She goes, "No, I'm not ringing you." And they know that you're going to ring them
You know
back,
what
and
you
they
do?
want you to.
Start making rude comments about them. The one
I
thing
did.
I've realised about phone scammers, once you get really nasty, They know our profanities and they know the context in which to use them.
Look, I think this is the modern world.
Trust
we're
me,
getting
I've
into,
brought
but
out the worst in the worst of
beware.
scammers.
Let your bank know if they've outsourced things overseas that you're not happy. Move to another bank. And I
But
tell you what,
where do you go? I mean,
nowhere.
Frydenberg said move to another bank.
can
But
I-
where do you go?
Well,
Can I
there's
just
just
say-
local banks.
Bankwest and Commonwealth.
PNN.
Police
No,
and
Bankwest
nurses.
is owned by Commonwealth.
Yeah, police and nurses, yeah.
Police
Yeah.
and nurses.
Go to someone local.
Bendigo.
I'm with- yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there are smaller banks, and you.
But
and
here's the question. This whole business of outsourcing, when it comes to very private legal documents, this is one of the things, and this is also one
privacy.
of the ways you get these countries to deal with it. So we are not going to allow people to do this. Why? Because the sanctity of our information cannot be guaranteed in your country, and we don't have the legal
we can
jurisdiction
talk
to
about
get
this
into
the
your
whole
country.
show.
And you
Unfortunately, we don't
know,
have time.
we're the
We're gonna go by.
laziest people when it comes to
Exactly.
changing our banks. You should be
we should
shopping
make-
around.
We can talk about this as a segment
Shopping
on its
around.
own, because there's a lot of stuff that people are not happy about if they knew about it. The outsourcing is a terrible thing, but thank you to Peter Newman for coming in today.
My pleasure.
I
It
hope
was a
to have
pleasure
you
to
back
be here.
again. It's been a pleasure to have you back here. Thank you to Jen Merrigan from Have a Go News,
Thank
He's
you.
voluble, isn't he?
and thank you to Chris Ilsley from Perth Tonight. That's why he tells Perth everything
That's
they
why
need
he
to know.
does. That's why he does talkback radio.
Yeah.
And you can listen
Which
to
was
him 8 to
accidental.
midnight on 6 p.m. Thank you guys for being here
My,
today.
our
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thanks
We will
for having
take a
us.
break. Thank you very much. We're back after the break with more. We're going to either talk pies or we might talk technology. And there's lots more music as well after the break on the couch. Welcome back to the couch. I've got my bodyguards here. One's a pastry chef, one's a production manager. Pinjarra Bakeries, where they're from. We're going to talk to them very soon. But last week I had the pleasure of interviewing one of the lead actors in a brand new movie starring Tina Arena, Paul Mercurio, and Daniel Barini. Now, Daniel Barini is one of the people who plays an amazing lawyer in this movie called Promise. It's about an arranged marriage from when the days of the 1950s. Anyway, enough from me. Check out the interview and then we'll show you the trailer. The Lavazza Italian Film Festival is coming. It has actually arrived here in Perth. There's a great new movie called Promised. With us today, we're talking to one of the lead actors. His name is Daniel Barini, and we welcome him to the couch.
Thank you, mate. Good to be here.
It is an amazing movie. Tell us a little bit about you, Daniel, because I know you did Whopper here in Perth, ended in 2014. Give us some background about Daniel.
Background about Daniel. Yeah, as you said, I grew up in Perth and went to Whopper. I actually did music theatre at Whopper, which was really cool. However, I don't look particularly good in ballet tights, so I made a quick transition.
That makes two of us.
Yeah, I made a quick transition into the sort of the film and TV side of things. But no, I was here. I really love Perth and moved over to Sydney in 5 years ago now. And I've been based over there and been hacking it out in the acting biz since then.
Now, I believe this is your first feature film, but tell us about some of the other TV stuff you've done in the past.
Yeah, sure. Well, I've been lucky. I've worked with 3 of the main networks here in Australia. I worked on for ABC on a show called Black Comedy, which is it's an Indigenous-based I guess it's like a sketch show, which is absolutely hilarious. And I was in season 2 of that. I was in a few of the sketches. I was also in a show called The Secret Daughter for Channel 7. I played a character called Andrew who worked in the Norton Hotel. That's a show with Jessica Malboy, which was really good fun. And most recently, I was in the most recent season 4, I think, of Love Child for Channel 9, which was good fun. I played a guy called Clive. And that was a wonderful set to be a part of, actually. The show was the 4th season of the show, and unfortunately the last season of that show. It was really wonderful to just sort of insert myself into that. It really was like a family, that set. I really enjoyed it.
Fantastic. Now, doing the movie, how did you get into this movie? How did you get the role?
Well, I auditioned in Sydney for it. There wasn't much information on the film when I auditioned. There was just sort of a couple of scenes. I really liked the scenes. I didn't even know it was necessarily about an Italian, or the scenes didn't read in that particular. In fact, actually, no, one of the scenes did say nonno. That was the giveaway. But I auditioned in Sydney with a lot of other actors, and then I eventually got flown down to Melbourne, and I met Nick Kennedy, the director, and the team, and went from there.
It's an amazing cast. Let's run through them. We've got Tina Arena, Paul Mercurio,
Yeah.
and your wife in the movie?
Antoinette Iesu.
And who's your father-in-law?
Mirko Grillini, the wonderful Mirko Grillini. He's a fantastic Italian actor.
It's an amazing cast. So tell the people at home, because I watched it last night, I was lucky enough to watch it, and being Italian, folks, I had to say it had some common touches, things that we grew up, because I know that when you were younger, your parents didn't really want you to do acting, wanted you to be a lawyer.
I don't know if they still do.
My parents didn't want me to work in television, wanted me to stay at Centrelink, because it's all about the money and buying houses.
Yeah.
How many references do you see in the movie that relate back to your life?
I think quite a lot. I mean, the character that I play, Robert, is from a very sort of traditional Italian-Australian family, and I think I definitely relate to that. I was brought up sort of in a very traditional path. My parents take great pride in, in an education and in stability, as I think a lot of people, not just Italian people, do. But I can definitely relate to that. And I mean, my parents, as you say, they wanted me to be a lawyer, my brother to be an engineer, my sister to be a doctor, and instead they got an actor, a percussionist, and a dancer. So I don't know.
Creative people.
Yeah, I think they either did something really right or really wrong. But
tell me a little bit about the movie, the storyline, but don't give it all away.
Don't give it all away. Well, basically, it follows two people, Robert, who I play, and Angela, who Antoinette plays. Two people they're both third-generation Italian Australians living in Melbourne in the 1950s, or born in the 1950s. And we're promised in marriage by our fathers, Sal and Joe. And then it sort of cuts to 20 years later, and we're, I've just come back from studying abroad over in Oxford for 5 years. Angela is at university, and I come back into town, and this sudden expectation that we're just to get married within a month. That is all I will say.
There's a wedding. There's there's a little bit of underworld that goes on.
Yeah, there's certainly. I'm sceptical to use the term mafia. The word that's. The phrase that's constantly it's referred to as my father is a connected man.
Now, for those people who don't speak Italian fluently, you don't have to. No. The movie's in English, but it's got a lot of Italian. Like I remember, I think it was one of the nonnas that sort of said "Foco meo," and I haven't heard that. That was a clean version of what I heard.
Yeah, there is. It's peppered with really wonderful. Another one that I love, and I don't know if I can say it, but testa di cazzo. Yeah. That's one of my favourites. There's a lot of Italian phrases and things that I think are quite funny thrown in there.
I tend to agree with you. There's humour, there's romance, there's a lot of romance. There's love gone wrong, love gone right. There's a lot of reasons there to watch the movie. Do you want to urge our viewers why you, Daniel, reckon that we should be watching this movie?
I think that you'll find it interesting as like a bit of a historical document to some extent. That sounds boring. It's not boring. Because I don't think people often think of the Italian community as being a part of this kind of the arranged marriage, the proxy marriages that we're sort of aware of. I think it's very interesting on that front because, I mean, when I went into this, certainly didn't know that Italians, especially Italians in this country, were actually in these arranged marriages. So that is actually very interesting. But then on the other side, as you say, it is a love story. And I think, that is its predominant feature. I
want to ask you something that other interviewers won't get, a little bit of a sneak peek into something that happened on set or something that you haven't told other people.
I'm not a particularly sporty person. And I don't know if you can tell, I'm just all skin and bones over here. But there was this one scene where all I had to do literally was just pick up a cricket bat and just...
I did see that.
You saw that bit? I think I came across all right. We did this scene for like hours, just trying to make me not look totally incompetent holding a cricket bat. The director came out from behind his screen showing me how to do it, and we had all the, I think the props girl jumped in and showed me how to hold the bat. I just looked so wrong. I just looked like a fool. But we got through it. I think what was really nice about being on set though, is it did feel like a family. And there was the nonnas and the director himself, Nick, a lot of his family was actually involved in the film. And I think that was really nice to be a part of something that did feel like a big Italian family, because that really is what the film focuses on.
Fantastic. I know you touched on Tina Arena being one of the big stars of the movie. Yeah. Paul Mercurio as well. Tell me what it was like to actually work, because I know what it's like when I work with idols. If you sort of feel, oh my God, look at these people I'm working with. Foco meo. But how did you feel after the movie, after doing it?
Yeah, I guess when you're on set, you sort of don't, you're sort of just, you're working, so you don't really, you're not sort of confronted by that as much. But I mean, even though this is Tina's debut into the film industry. I mean, her 40 plus years in the entertainment industry. I mean, that wealth of that understanding of drama. I mean, she's one of the most complex sort of creative minds that I've ever met, and she was wonderful to work with, and she's such a beautiful personality. And same with Paul. I mean, he's been working in the industry for all his life. So just having that experience on set, and same with Mirko, I might add. You know, Mirko just had his a wealth of experience on a film set. So just having those people around you that, you know, as I am a particularly green actor, and just having those people around, it was very inspiring.
If you had your prime pick at something in Australia, honestly, what would you pick? Home and Away, Neighbours, one of the other drama shows, Packed to the Rafters is coming back.
They all come back. Sea Change just came back. I'll be diplomatic here. I'm open to all possibilities. I'd like to see some new gritty dramas being made. I think it's great. I know that this is on Foxtel. I think Foxtel is great. Things like they've got a lot of new. They take risks on some pretty interesting. Yeah, Wentworth is amazing, and I'm just completely.
Would you like to be in a woman's prison?
As a guard? Yeah, of course. Wentworth. I'd love to be on the Wentworth set. That looks like great fun.
I welcome you back to Perth. You're a wonderful actor. The movie's great. Folks, you've got to watch this movie. It's called Promised. It will open your eyes to some of the traditions that don't really... they're sort of not around today, but we don't know. They could still be around, more in Italy.
I think, well, that's what I think is so interesting, is that since doing this film, I would have thought this was something that ended generations ago. There are so many people that I've met that I've known for years that go, oh, did you know that my parents are arranged? Did you know my grandparents are... Like, I think it is... I don't think people my age are getting promised in marriage anymore, but it is still very prevalent in our Australian society.
I was going to end the interview with just a quick question, just to settle this. I noticed you got married. Mm-hmm. You went to Rome and Calabria. Mm-hmm. I need to know, being Calabrese, were you Calabrese in the movie or Sicilian?
I'm going to say Calabrese only because Nick Canidi, the director, is Calabrese, and he'd kill me for saying I was Sicilian. Obviously, I'd love you to come see the film. It's really easy. It's open to all ages, and like I said, it is a love story, and I think that everyone loves a love story.
That is, of course, Robert Prima. He is the character, and of course, this actor is Daniel Barini. He's a Perth guy, Whopper student. He's done a lot of television. He's going to do a lot more, I'm sure. This movie is called Promised. Catch it as part of the Lavazza Italian Film Festival at Palace Cinemas all around Australia. palaceCinemas.com.au, and I have been told in my ear, Hoyt Cinemas may be screening it as well around Australia. It comes out 24th of October. Go down and watch it.
There was a time when arranged marriages were not uncommon in our community.
What do you think, compare?
It was the way it was. We even had a word for it. Combinare.
Promesso.
To arrange.
Promesso. Roberto e Angela. Roberto e Angela.
But the world was changing, and so were we.
His father and my father have this stupid expectation that we're going to get married. You don't know my father, and he feels indebted to Robert's dad.
Have the wedding in 4 weeks.
What?
He said it's a great honour for both our families. What could I say? Maybe we could be happy.
I can't make you happy, Robert. Marriage isn't some business arrangement.
In my world, that needs to be repaid, one way or the other.
I don't know what to do, Tom.
Why would he go near his secretary when he's got you waiting at home for him?
And it wouldn't be the first time.
Love is a wonderful thing. You meet, you fall in love, and you get married, in that order. But love, like life, is never perfectly arranged.
Hope you enjoyed that. Of course, you can go out and catch the movie. It comes out on the 24th of October at Palace Cinemas. Check out palaceCinemas.com.au for details, or check out Hoyt's as well, because apparently they're going to be having it as well. Now, something else I'm going to be having is all this food that's on the bench here. I got to speak to Darren. Darren, thank you for coming in, and Paul as well. You're the production manager, Paul, at Pinjarra Bakery, and you are the pastry chef, the head pastry chef, am I right there? Now, the reason we got you in is because I had you on the radio, and one of our callers rang me up and said, Fred, there's this great bakery in Pinjarra that won a national award in the pie comp. So what's the pie competition called?
It's the Great Aussie Pie Comp.
And how does that work? How long has that been running, do you know?
Oh, over what is it?
A long time.
15 to 20 years.
20 years.
That's a
easily.
long time.
Yeah.
Now, you guys got involved. So run me through what you did. You had to obviously apply to be in it.
Yeah, so you get the entry form and you can apply as many times as you want. There's all different categories for the pie, from chicken, beef, seafood, plain mince pie, as many entries as you want.
Yep.
And then it's taken, once we make the stuff, it's sent over to Sydney or Melbourne, depending where it is, and then it's there to judge.
So how do they judge it? Do you have to actually try the pies? Do you get, obviously a lot of companies enter,
Lots.
and the judges have to try every single pie. How long does it take before they try it to when they tell you you've won?
4 days, isn't it?
I think it's over 4 days, the event. So you're talking thousands of pies over 4 days,
Yep.
Which is a lot of pies to try. So,
Well, first of all, tell us a little bit about Pinjarra Bakery.
okay, so Pinjarra Bakery and Patisserie, just a family-run business in Pinjarra. We started about 20 years ago. An idea my father had that a small town of Pinjarra needed a bakery. So we put one in a little deli, and then it just grew from there into
Huge bakery.
a huge bakery. And then from there, we've expanded 2 more stores, and are now in a couple of months just about to open our 4th
So
store.
tell us the areas where the stores are now.
So you got our main one in Pinjarra.
Yep.
We have one about 20 minutes south in Maroona. Our 3rd store is in Maddington, which is in Perth, and our 4th store is in Port Kennedy in Rockingham, and that should be opening in a few weeks'
And
time.
I've got a great idea for your 5th store, Balga. I know
nice.
someone that hosts a TV show and a radio program that would give you heaps of advertising if you opened one there. Let's not go on about that. This is the trophy. Darren, what's the trophy that was won for?
The trophy was won for, over the full 4-day competition, the best meat pie
Here it is
in
here.
Australia.
I think Aref's got a shot of it, have you, Aref? See it how it looks before I eat it? Now, why did this win the best pie?
Well, in my opinion, and I'm sure we share the same opinion, Paul and I, we've been hitting this competition for a few years now, and every year we're a snippet off the winning. Like, we're always in the top 3, top 4.
Really? So you just
Yeah,
We've always been up there.
Always been up
So
there.
how did you know what you needed to do? What did you think needed to change?
We tweak. We get, what happens is every year they send you a result, how this taste, the thickness of the pastry.
Feedback,
So
they give you
feedback. So we
And
sat
you've
down
tweaked
together.
it?
We sat down together and said, right, this is it. This is our year. Right. So we worked out the pastry. We've talked about it. We pushed it. We pumped it. We did everything we needed to cook the filling absolutely smicko. In the oven baking, we were cheering. They look fantastic.
You were positive.
We
We knew
were
we
pumping.
had, we knew we had a pretty good one this year,
Yeah.
so we were just hoping.
Yep.
Well, do you know, I want to ask, can all these pies, let's run quickly over the desk here. Because what are the pies and sausage rolls we've got over here? Tell us what they are.
Okay, we've got the, that's a surf and turf.
Yep.
That was a gold winner.
Surf and turf in a pie.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And what else? Run through them all, just
Okay.
quickly, so we can see what they're like.
Okay, peri peri chicken, bacon and cheese, gourmet sausage roll. That's another one of the award-winning plain pies.
Oh, there's 2, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, good
thought
to know.
we'd bring one over.
What about this side?
Okay, this side we have, that is actually barbecue brisket.
Yep.
That is a big breakfast pie. That's a double bacon cheeseburger.
Yep.
Then we've got pulled pork and cider.
Wow.
Chunky beef, and that was a Texas beef.
Now, not only do you have pies and sausage rolls, you've also got patisserie cakes, the type of cakes we have at the Italian weddings and things.
That's right.
All made locally, all made in the store.
All made on premises.
So every
yeah.
single bit of that cream is made locally, and
Yep.
so is the pastry.
Yep.
And what about the rolls?
The rolls are made on site as well. That's our bread.
So you can make fresh rolls,
fresh
what, for
rolls every
lunch?
day, lunch and wraps.
Yep.
We try to use local products.
Yep.
Keep it local. So everything from the meat, Borello beef, local flour companies. We just try to keep it local.
And what about this amazing coffee that I've got here in my hands?
Okay.
Tell us about this coffee. I can see you can buy it by the kilo.
Yeah.
Do you sell the coffee?
Not individually,
only
no.
cooked
This is a
already?
new thing to us. So we've got a local barista who's roasted us our own blend of coffee, which is called the Baker's Blend. So that's only just been in for about a week or 2, and it's a beautiful coffee. So like I said, sticking
Smooth?
with locals,
Very smooth.
and it's very smooth and caramelly. It's beautiful.
Now, these are available all day. What are your times at the bakery? What times can people come down? How early?
Well, any time from about 6:30 we're open from.
6:30 in the morning, so all
7
the
days a week.
tradespeople.
Yeah.
People on their
tradies.
way to work, come down and get a coffee, get a cake, get a pie,
Yeah.
get a roll.
Yeah, and we
Just
close,
don't
at,
eat
close
them.
at 5 o'clock on during the week, and on the weekends it's a little bit loud. We close at 3 o'clock on the
Fantastic. Now,
weekends.
you're entering again.
Of course, yeah.
And have you got something new coming up? Because you have got, I have never heard of so many different variety of pies. When people come down to the bakery, are they easily identifiable?
Yes.
Yeah.
People
all
say, oh, yeah,
labelled,
that's
yeah.
what that
Yeah,
is.
all labelled,
yeah.
Oh, that's a shame, because I just like to take a random, give me a kilo of it.
What we actually do, so we don't confuse people too much, we organise a pie of the month.
Yep.
So like one of these will be pie of the month. So we do it for a month, so everyone gets to try the award-winning pies. Because if we try to do them all at once,
Hey, if you ever want to do a taste testing, I'm happy to let you use the studio as long as I'm part of it. I'm going to try the award-winning one. Tell us again what this one is.
that's the premium plain meat pie.
For a vegetarian, I actually like it. Even all the vegetarians will love this. This is beautiful meat.
Yes.
And I have to say, it is good. Forget Mrs. Max. If it is a Mrs. Mac, take it back.
Exactly.
This is what you need. Pinjarra Bakery. That sounds pretty good. If it is a Mrs. Mac, take it back. Give us the website if people want to check you out and come out to your store.
Yeah, so it's pinjarrabakery.com.au. We have all our details on there. We do catering, and all the stores are located on there. You can order through the website directly. So, yeah, come and check us out and see what we're all about.
You guys are wonderful. You do some local stuff, which is amazing. All of this range is just a bit of what you've got. It's local, the food's local, it's made here. It's looking after local jobs, local industry. Thank you for coming in today. Pinjarra Bakery, please don't drive past it, drive to it. And remember my little tag, if it's a Mrs. Mac, take it back and take one of these. Thank you very much for coming in today.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you for
I'm
having
sure
us.
we're going to see you again because you won't leave until I eat everything. Thank you very much. We're going to take a break. Coming back after the break with Ben Aylett, talking technology. See you then.
Connect with The Couch online through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Welcome back to The Couch. Nearly time to wrap up the show today. Thanks for your company. I hope you enjoyed the show. But still, we're going to talk technology with Ben Aylett. Welcome back.
Thanks very much, Fred.
Now, Ben, in Bitchin' today, we talked about scammers, these new
Yes.
scams, the people that ring you from overseas,
Oh, yeah.
from Tunisia. They want you to not answer the phone and then ring them back, and they charge you a bucket load of money.
Yep.
Also, scams where people send you something saying they're a bank or a post office or another company, and you've got to click on the link to give them the details. What's your warning to people about those sort of things?
Just basically don't do it. If it's not a number you recognise or not a number in your phone book, let it go through to the keeper, i.e. Message Bank. If they leave a message, then it was worthwhile them calling and you call them back. If they don't leave a message, don't lose any sleep over it. It's as simple as that.
Exactly. Most people will send you an SMS straight away anyway if they can't get through to you, if it's that urgent.
Yep.
Please call
Exactly.
me, Fred, or whatever.
Yeah.
And also links. How important is it people when they get an email that's got a link and they know it's not real? Because, for example, folks, you might have Australia Post at W, at C, at K, and then a number. Australia Post would not be that.
No.
Governments usually have .gov or Australia Post would be .com.au.
Yep.
Be wary. Should they click on links?
In most cases, I would not recommend anyone clicks on a link, ever.
And never give their
as an-
bank
as an
account
email.
details, especially.
Absolutely no. Never give bank account details or credit card details or your mother's maiden name or any sort of
Are we
information.
likely to be able to resolve this? Because it seems to be becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, more common, these scams.
The scammers are becoming smarter and they're finding ways around the roadblocks we put up. So it really comes down to people at the end of the line, us, changing our behaviour. So taking a more aggressive approach against scammers. So if you don't recognise a number, just let it go through to the keeper. Don't click on links. Just be more aware of what these bad guys can do.
Great advice. And I hope one day we'll have a course or a seminar that can maybe run locally here in WA to teach people, because I bet you there's a lot of people out there that are just worried about these scams. Hackathon.
Yes.
We talked about it last time.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit what it was and how it all worked.
It's kind of why I'm out of uniform today. So I've got a hackathon T-shirt. The hackathon.
I wondered if it was the real you or just a scam. Because
Exactly.
The Hawaiian shirt wasn't
Exactly.
there.
So there wasn't that second factor of authentication. Anyway, so the hackathon works. It's around Australia. In every capital city there was a gathering, and it's actually the first time this has happened in the world. So there's a world first, not just an Australian first.
National.
Yeah. So a bunch of people all got together at a central location. In this case, for Perth, it was in the basement at Flux, which is a shared working space. And we got together, we organised ourselves into teams, and we were then given a briefing, signed forms, and then we were shown 12 cases, 12 missing person cases, real missing person cases. And we had the federal police there, the state police, we had the missing persons unit, so a lot of support from the government was involved. And
what do you do with that information? What are you expected to do?
Just go find clues.
So it's like a gathering of people that are just getting into it.
Yep.
On any sort of online facility.
Any way you can. So there's rules of engagement, obviously. So you're not allowed to try and contact people or ask questions or send viruses to take over their computers. You can't do that.
Okay.
It is trolling through forums, going through the dark web.
So it's using your connections, basically, to try and resolve the missing people.
Exactly. And
what a wonderful idea.
Yeah, and it's not highly technical either. So anyone interested in doing this, they can come along and do it. If you can Google, you can take part in the hackathon.
How wonderful if they kept this going as a separate little side office of the police or, some sort of service where the public can get involved.
Yeah. Well, I think the initial feedback must have been good because I was very, very excited to have taken part in it. It was a 6-hour exercise. It took out the whole day, but what a day.
Do you know if you had any success? Did they say to you, we had some leads, or they don't tell you?
We haven't got any feedback yet. But we did get feedback on the amount of information they were getting, and this is information that was, I suppose, judged as good information. So they were getting
new information.
Yeah, 100 leads every 10 minutes.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing when you go out to the network, the people. Someone knows something, and if the format's right to get those thoughts together or the information together, it probably works. Now, I did see you on Channel 9. You were on there, and you also Today Tonight did a story.
Yep.
How did that go?
Oh, it went great, as always.
Yeah.
It's great fun to talk to the media and make sure that more and more people are aware of this fantastic program.
Now, are we likely to still be able to be involved? Is there a way people can get involved with this hackathon?
The hackathon for 2019, I would say, is finished.
Yep.
But keep an eye open because as soon as I get wind of this happening, I will be letting everyone I know aware of it.
Okay. And just a quick question before we wrap it up. We've got a minute to go. 5G.
Yes.
What is happening? Because I've heard rumours that the 5G that's out there at the moment is crap. I've heard that it doesn't work very well unless you're very close to the city, and there's very few people that can use it. Is that true?
5G is being rolled out, so it doesn't. 5G is being rolled out in stages, so it's not going to cover everything for all devices. So you've got to have a 5G compatible device, and you've got to be in a 5G service area. Right now, the 5G service areas are actually quite small.
And isn't it amazing? iPhone brought out a new phone, and yet it doesn't have 5G.
Yeah.
So they're obviously planning on bringing out another one next year.
Oh yeah, obviously, but the rush for 5G, it's really just to plant a flag and say we were the first to get it done.
It's like they did last time when it was 4G, I guess. And 3G has been disconnected on Telstra in the next couple of years, isn't it?
Not until 2024.
Okay,
so you've got a bit of time.
Great information. Ben, what's your website? People want more information?
The website is benaylett.com. That's it.
And you are an expert in cybersecurity, I've got to tell people. So if people have got a cybersecurity request, requirement or job, this is your man.
Yeah, so cybersecurity, IT support, IT management, anything to do with technology and especially stuff to do with cybersecurity.
And if you don't know, ask him anyway. He's bound to tell you. If not, catch him on what night? Monday night? On 6PR?
On 6PR every Tuesday night every Tuesday night from 8:20 p.m. until 9 p.m. And you can send your calls in. You can also send your questions in to mailbag@benaylett.com.
There you go. Mailbag, there it is on screen. Thank you
Fantastic.
very much. Well done, Ben. Thanks for being here today. It's always a pleasure to have your information.
Always fun to be on.
Very easy to understand, Ben, and that's the most important thing. You talk simple language. People understand you. That is it for the show today. Thank you to our amazing crew. Thanks to Liam, our director, and thanks to everybody. Abby, Alec, Michael, Adrian, Fletcher, and Arif as well. And I think we've got Ben in the control room, Nick as well. And of course, we've got Liam on the director there, and Rocky when he can hear us. So thank you very much, Rocky, for being out there and not opening the door to our guests. Very great security. That is it. We'll leave you today with a brand new CD. Now, let me just show you the album. It is Claudia Tripp. She's been with us for a few years. This is her brand new album. It's called Phantom. It's a new single, I think. But we've got her live today to perform it for us with the band. We'll see you next week, Australia. Have a wonderful week. Keep smiling. Bye for now.
after everything that happened. You left me hanging like a puppet on your string. I got lost and I don't know where you've been. Was I a secret that you didn't think was worth sharing? Now I can't share it. You got the best of me, and now I'm going in circles and I'm going insane. Kissed 100 boys to forget your name, and I can't find a phantom banging my head up against the wall. Every second that I'm waiting on you to call, I'm trying to find a phantom. I watch my back when I walk into a room. I never know when I'm gonna see you. I once told you I could handle it, but I can't handle all this waiting. I saw that other girl by your side, blonde hair, pink lips. Is she on your mind? Is she giving you something that I couldn't? There's nothing that I wouldn't. You disappeared without a trace, but every time I close my eyes, still see your face. And now I'm going in circles and I'm going insane. Kissed 100 boys to forget your name, and I can't find a phantom banging my head up against the wall. Every second that I'm waiting on you to call, I'm trying to find a phantom. You had me in the palm of your hand and you knew it. Were your lips on my neck, some kind of illusion? My hands in your hair, the words you said. Now it's like you never existed. You had me in the palm of your hand and you knew it. Were your lips on my neck, some kind of illusion? My hands in your hair, the words you said. Now it's like you never even existed. And now I'm going in circles and I'm going insane. Kissed 100 boys to forget your name, and I can't find a phantom banging my head up against the wall. Every second that I'm waiting on you to call, I'm trying to find a phantom. Phantom, oh no, oh no. On the couch with us, da-da-da, da-da-da-da. On the couch with us.
The Couch is proudly supported by Palace Cinemas, Elite Audiovisual Productions, Crown and Andrews Board Games, fun for the whole family, and Scoot Airlines. Escape the ordinary, fly Scoot.